Harper Audio presents A Little Too Much by Lisa Desrochers, performed by Serena Daniels. Chapter 1. The fake blonde with the fake lips and the fake double Ds is glaring at me. Hell, I'd be glaring at me too if I could. I can't believe I screwed that up. But I did. I always do. The only auditions I can get without an agent are for off Broadway musicals. That's because the only thing on my resume is American Idol, where I made it all the way to Hollywood Week 3 years ago. Unfortunately for me, I can't dance, which is a problem unless you're playing a paraplegic or something. So, I'm basically screwed. But that was worse than usual. Christ, I actually knocked that girl over. In my defense, she was screwing up almost as much as I was. If she were where she belonged, I wouldn't have run her down. But, shit. I pull my gaze away from the death beam of Blondie's glare and glance at the casting director, flitting around up front like she's all that. She's never acted a single part on Broadway, and yet here she is, my judge and jury. Brett's worked with her before. Says she's pretty cool. He told me he'd talk to her, put in a good word. But he came in halfway through the audition, plunked down in the back row, and hasn't budged since. I really only noticed his arrival because of the burst of pheromones up front and the estrogen shuffle that followed. All of a sudden, all the girls on stage were adjusting their cleavages and fluffing their hair. But I never saw him even look our direction. And he never went up front. I look up at him now and force myself to breathe. He's texting, looks like, and clearly has no intention of saying anything to anybody. A flicker of annoyance starts in my gut, but it's snuffed out cold by nerves when casting director chick approaches the stage. She looks up at us and claps her hands twice to get our attention. "Okay," she says loudly, then pulls her iPad out from under her arm and glances at it. "Numbers 1, 2, 7, 10, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, and 21. I need you to sit tight. We'll do the number again in 5. The rest of you, thank you for auditioning. You're free to go." Damn. Most Idol rejects record indies or try for record contracts. But since I was 6 and my grandpa took me to see Annie on Broadway right before he died, my dream has always been to act on stage. But everything is so political and the competition is tough. So this is pretty much how the last 3 years have gone. Thanks, but no thanks. My muscles are bunched so tight that when I look down to double-check the number pinned to my sleeve, I feel something in my neck pull. 13. That should have been my first clue that things weren't going to go well. Lucky number 7 made it. Unlucky 13, not so much. "That blows, Hilary." Jessica's sympathetic voice snaps me out of my one-person pity party, and I try to smile at her. She's miles of legs topped by big brown doe eyes, which are looking at me like my puppy just became roadkill. Her long honey-brown hair is pulled off her face in a high ponytail, and her fair skin is perfectly flushed without a stitch of makeup, making her look very, I have no clue how hot I am. "It was just bad karma. Number 13, she says with a poke to my shoulder. "I think everyone should take their cue from hotels and just skip it." "What?" She plants one slender white hand on her hip and flips the other one palm up in a presenting the obvious gesture. "You know how there's never a 13th floor in hotels?" I never noticed. Mostly because I've never stayed in one with more than 2 floors and a broken ice maker. "So, we're still going out for my birthday next week?" This brightens my mood a little. As adorable as she is, Jess knows how to have a good time, and that is so what I need right now.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?